Hey everyone, this is Dr. Mark Schillinger, founder of the Young Men's Ultimate Weekend, a nonprofit organization that's dedicated to putting on rite of passage wilderness initiations for young men ages 13 to 20 so that they can develop the resiliency that they're going to need in order to make it in the outside world. And I'm also the founder of Challenging Teenage Sons, an organization that is dedicated to helping parents like yourselves have much more caring and cooperative relationships with your son. So, the show for today is called The Big Picture Reason Why Parents and Their Sons Are Struggling. I'm going to give you a big picture as to how this all began and then give you some solutions here and what you can do about it. All right, so let's begin. 10,000 years ago, we lived in tribes. We lived nomadically. We all needed to share. We all needed to help each other make it in the world. Parents had the assistance of mentors, other adults and elders in the community that would help them raise their sons. And they raised them highlighting two things. Number one, helping young people discover their own authentic virtues and values and the behaviors that demonstrated them so they would feel like whole within themselves, while also simultaneously teaching them how to adapt to the virtues and the values and the behaviors of the community, like respect and loyalty, trust, cooperation for sure, courage for sure. So the young people grew up already feeling like they respected themselves because they knew their role, and if they did their role well, they were held in high regard. And they also knew who they were. So they naturally wanted to give back to their community because they were seen by their community. And everybody needed them, and they needed everybody. So parenting was actually quite a bit easier in those days. Now things changed, now meaning 10,000 years ago. For hundreds of thousands of years, that's how it was. Then something happened called the agricultural revolution. All of a sudden, there was a few people who knew how to domesticate plants and grow food, and there were people who knew how to domesticate animals and tame animals and use them for work and for food. Well, those few people now could command those who didn't know how to do that, and those who didn't how to really work hard to get that food that those people knew how to create. So families then changed from where everybody shared everything to where parents had to work hard for the king, so to speak, because they needed the money to pay the taxes, and they needed to figure out ways to buy food and to pay their taxes. So now parenting became about how do I raise my children to learn how to play this game, which was all about work, work, money, money, give to somebody else. So stress became really difficult all of a sudden. On top of that, we then had what's called the Industrial Revolution. And that happened in the 1700s, where still the same game had to be played. Parents had to be stressed out, anxiously hoping and training their sons and daughters to make it in the outside world. Now, with the Industrial Revolution, people were flocking to the cities. So people lived closer quarters. It was more stressful. There was more crime. It was just more challenging and difficult. And in just about 10,000 years, we had completely changed the way we raised our children and the purpose for raising them than it was for hundreds of thousands of years before. So for the last few hundred years, we've been sending off our children to get jobs or to go to college so they can work in that machine and get the money they need to pay their bills and to pay the king, pay their taxes. Now, I'm not judging that because, yes, we all need to have money to pay for things. What I am critical about is this. Now we're in the informational revolution, right? Digital dominance is what I like to call it. We're in the digital era, which is now requiring parents and young people even more time separate, right? We used to care and cooperate. Now we live in the same house with our children, and we're more isolated from each other, and we're ignoring each other. So the separation between parents and their children, that necessary bonding that must occur, especially in an earlier age, is being ripped away because now our kids have these devices, and that becomes their parents, and that becomes their focus of attention. So the anxiety of parents now is probably higher than ever in the history of the world on hoping, wishing, and praying that their children are going to make it. And so the way that relates to young men, because I've been in front of tens of thousands of young men, either coaching wise or public speaking wise or at the Young Men's Ultimate Weekend, here's what I've learned. They do not really trust adults who can't stay calm and be clear about how to survive and thrive. So I'm saying this without judgment. For us as the parents, we have to learn how to navigate our way through what I like to call the ancestral family wisdom era to now the artificially intelligent family wisdom era. Because we're all going to become more and more artificially intelligent. But there's no handbook, there's no playbook. There's no way to navigate through these changes that all humans are going through. So parental stress is higher than ever. So what I've done a good job in is figuring out a way, a method, a specific path, like tribes used to have. They had a set way. So I have a way that will help you and your son have a more caring and cooperative relationship. Last November, 2021, our work with young men and their parents was featured on a CNN show called This Is Life with Lisa Lane. She featured our work for an hour. It was amazing to have her. One of the reasons why she featured us was because we were doing rite of passage for whole families and teaching the whole family the same method so that they could get along better and help each other make it in the world, to be more personally happy and more family organized and responsible and more communally productive. So if you are finding yourself having a problem with your son, especially if he's becoming addicted or already is addicted to his devices and just wants to spend time isolated away in his room, then I can help you because I have figured out a way. So I'm going to put a URL in the chat box here in a moment. If you're really curious about how I've helped so many families over the years overcome this digital distraction that parents are facing with their sons, then call me. So give me a moment to do something here. I'm not very technologically advanced, but I'm going to try to do this here. I'm going to try to put something in the chat here. I'm going to copy. See if I can paste this somewhere. I don't know how to do this. Let's see. Well, I guess there is no copy and paste in chat because we're not on Zoom, we're on Facebook Live. So never mind. Okay, let me do this for you. I apologize for that. Just contact us. Contact us at info@challengingteenagesons.com. info@challengingteenagesons.com, or call us at 415-785-8818. If you're concerned that you're not getting through to your son on how to adapt to the challenges of the outside world because he's so addicted to his devices, then I can definitely help you. So contact us and we'll schedule a free 20-minute call where I can hear what your concerns are, give you some good tips, and then really get you on a good way to have a more caring and cooperative relationship with your son, the way families used to enjoy all the time, hundreds of thousands of years. Thank you for watching today.